Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Mormelo. Welcome to my channel. I do a lot of videos here on basically teaching people how to make a living as a musician. I've been a professional musician for over 30 years. I've toured around the world. I wrote songs in Nashville, and I currently make a living as a musician. Primarily these days, solo acoustic at resorts and corporate events, weddings, things of that nature. So today, I wanted to show you a little bit about how to make your playing seem more interesting. When you're out there playing solo acoustic, a lot of people have a really boring kind of strumming thing going on, and when you're doing, you're just kind of doing that kind of thing, people can zone out on you. So I like to keep things a little bit more interesting and use a lot of different techniques to do that. So for instance, let's take an E progression, a 1-4-5 in E. How I'll make that more interesting depending on the song itself is, instead of doing 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll be stuff like that. I do a lot of sus2s and sus4s. But I like the sus2. This one it's like an open, like a sus2, but with the open E on the end for the B. That's a good shape. Instead of just doing here, how that sounds. The trick here is to use as many open strings as you can to kind of get that real ringing, thick, lush sounding chords. So if I'm doing like a thing like this in E, I'll use those shapes. Go up to the 4. There's a sussin. Go into some like major pentatonic things as well. That's why knowing your pentatonics is so important. Just kind of make your playing sound more interesting. So if I'm going off a G chord, like for instance, I'll do I might go a lot of open notes, ring out chords, use the pentatonics quite a bit, like if you're in a major. And if you're minor, it works the same thing. If you're doing like a minor thing. Like if you're doing, say, like a Johnny Cash. Do the alternating bass thing as well. So there's a lot of like double stoppy things you can do. If I'm playing something in the key of G, like working off the G major pentatonic, right? Or you can go off the G major. You know? So make sure you learn those pentatonics, and the major scales are very important, as well as your relative minors, because you can do a lot of things with your chords working off that. For instance, like if I'm playing like Allman Brothers, and I'm doing use that major in the minor and a lot of open strings as well. So how do I use this in the context of a song? I'll be like, here's a good one. You know, like a. See it? All those walking, all those bass notes. Well, I lit out on window house, till about 20 ounce. Didn't get to sleep last night, morning came around. Said down, but take my time, friend, the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, I just might get some sleep tonight. All those walking things, you know. See how much better that sounds than just going. Most people don't even do those open notes and open strings. But try to incorporate a lot of that stuff in your playing. All you got to do is just practice and mess around with it a little bit. You know, like pick a chord and try to find some cool variations, double stops, open things, and just invent licks. I mean, that's all I ever did. I invented licks. Do stuff like off the, you know, off the major scale. Stuff like that, you know. I can't stress, it's really important to know your majors, your relative minors. Major and minor pentatonics are really important. Then you can start getting into harmonic minors, modes, and different things like that. But I find myself just, when I'm playing solo acoustic specifically, like if I'm on the E, this by the way, this guitar is tuned down to D just because I like the sound. It's got really thick strings on it. So capo second fret, the whole guitar comes up to E tuning, standard tuning. You know, it's like those Hendrixy type of open things. That's all that stuff is. It's like. So, but you can also do stuff like in the first position. And that's just working off the first position, E major. So, you know, some of the things I do on each chord. So that was a G, do a lot of major pentatonic stuff off the G. Because G is, major pentatonic would be first position G or G. So there's a gazillion things you can do off that. You could also go to major to minor. So there's the minor. Right. Bring it back to the major. You get some some 13s in there and stuff. But, you know, that's the trick. Develop your ability to play chords and the associated scales that go with them. And then it's just hours and hours and hours. Put your 10,000 hours in and you'll be able to do a lot of stuff. So if you're just going... to the 4. Alternate the bass. You know, develop that kind of stuff. So that's it, you know. So some of the common things off G are like what I just played off C. You can do, you can go. You know, do the Hendrixy. I call it like the Hendrixy major pentatonic. So here's C, the C major pentatonic will be. Those are just licks off the pentatonic. I like to slide. I encourage you to find your own licks. You know, I mean, you could learn licks from other people, from me, from a billion people as a starting point. You know, your first licks you're ever going to learn, for if you're playing G, like a G minor, you're gonna learn Hidlia licks. You know, the blues lick. You know, that's just a different variation. The Johnny B. Good. So I encourage you guys to just play around a lot. You can do different things off any chords. So for solo acoustic, I do a lot of things off G, a lot of things off the A. The A would be like... it's like a D with A bass. Sounds good. Start like that. And go up to D. Back to D. That chord quite a bit as well. It's like a sus2. Any sus chords, you know, they're just like they just sound so great. That tension, you know. You could do stuff off F is a little harder, like major sevens, and for F sharp, which is the relative minor of D, right? You can do a lot of, that's why all that works. It works right with that. It's the relative minor. So, like a G, walk down the relative to the 6. That works perfect. So that's D, C, back to the G. Hopefully that gives you some ideas and kind of inspires you a little bit to just pick up the guitar and practice. There's so many different, I like to try to find as many open type chords as possible. That's like an open B, but then you can also go here. All these bar chord versions. There's A, there's G. That's like it's alright. Here comes a time. I got no patience to search peace of mind. You know, Alice in Chains stuff, you know. But so like, there's an open version of that off B. There's the A. There's the G. That can work. A lot of times, I'll use a really cool inversion of F sharp. Hear that? But anyway, try to use as many open major and minor pentatonic type things, you know, shapes, double stops, and just cool little licks when you're playing a song to keep things interesting. And then you can always work off the major or the minor pentatonic of any inversion of any chord. So learn your majors, learn your minors, major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, just all it is the relative minor, and major scales as well. Very important. So try to keep things interesting, and we'll see you on the next video.